Songwriting competitions. Are they a money grab or a golden opportunity to kickstart your career? Well, the data's in. I actually asked on this channel on a little poll, also on some Facebook threads, and I've seen numerous discussions on this topic over the years, and the data is really, really clear. Most of you think that it's, if not a scam, at least a waste of time. So let's dive in today to explore a little bit more about these songwriting competitions and see what insights we can gain and what that means for you as an indie over 50 musician and artist. Spoiler alert, I've had some success. In 2021, my song Faith, Hope and Love was a finalist in the John Lennon Songwriting Competition and finalist in a number of other competitions around the world and locally here in Australia. I'm now actually on the board of an Australian charity that runs a songwriting competition, so I can add that bit of perspective as well. G'day and welcome to Indie Over 50, a channel dedicated to those of us over the age of 50 releasing new original music on YouTube and Spotify. My name is John Huggart and I am Indie Over 50. We know that songwriting competitions are designed to offer recognition and feedback and even career opportunities for songwriters. At least that's what it says on the website. And there's a lot of them. Globally, there's the International Songwriting Competition, unsigned only. There's the John Lennon Songwriting Competition. In Australia, there's the Vanda and Young Global Song Competition. Also, Listenup Music, the charity board I'm now involved in. And there is also the Australian Songwriting Association competition. Globally, there's a competition dedicated to over 50. Talent is timeless. On top of that, there's multiple jurisdictional competitions in your area as well. The UK Songwriting Competition, the American Songwriting Competition. I'm sure there's plenty more around the world. And look, there's no doubt that being a finalist or a semi-finalist or winning one of these competitions absolutely does give you a great sense of achievement and fulfillment and validation of your songwriting craft. I think we're also enticed by the opportunity that, we might have access to high-profile judges that might come and tap us on the shoulder to offer you a publishing contract. Some of the competitions offer you constructive feedback. I've seen one competition where that's an extra cost for which you get specific feedback. And there are even networking opportunities. I know that I was able to meet one of the other finalists of the John Lennon Songwriting Competition the year I performed, who have now created an ongoing relationship. And I think the idea that with talent is timeless, and I'll put the link below here, but it's dedicated to over 50-year-olds. Awesome for Indie over 50. And that's kind of a nice idea as well in your songwriting craft. Now, some of the drawbacks, they're high entry fees. They're usually between $20 and $50 US or thereabouts. They talk about that production's not an issue. They're just focused on the song and you can just hum a few bars into your phone or whatever. I don't think that's really the case. None of the winning entries that I've ever listened to have been poor quality. They've all been radio-ready release material quality. I think production quality does have an impact. And of course, the impact of applying and entering these competitions and not getting any feedback or not winning or not placing, can do a little bit of damage to the ego. And that's fair enough as well. There is an emotional toll. And more broadly, one of the comments that I had when I engaged on the polls and in the forums on this topic was, it's my art, you can't judge it. And I can't take that away. That is entirely true and it is subjective, but it is one form of feedback and it is interesting how the process works. But yeah, you do you. If you don't want to put yourself out there for that approach, that's okay. So for me, yes, my song, Faith, Hope and Love, it was a finalist in the John Lennon Songwriting Competition. Interestingly, placed in 5 competitions that I entered that year out of about 8. So it was kind of a validation that the system can work. And let me tell you, I've put in other songs subsequent years into other competitions and not had any feedback of that nature or placements. So it kind of gave me the confidence, well, maybe it is a good song. And also, these competitions don't work with each other. They all independently identified that this song was the quality of a semi-finalist or a finalist. Now, the other cool thing about the competition, I actually won some prizes. Got this amazing guitar lead. I got some bit of computer equipment, some software. So that was kind of really, really cool with winning that prize, and very, very self-validating. But the bottom line is, the adulation, the press, the paparazzi, the constant intrusions, you could never finish them. Oh, hang on. No, that didn't happen. And another impact on this process for me was I ended up joining the board of one of the competitions I'd entered into. Listenup Music is a great Australian music charity devoted to positive mental health amongst musicians. And its songwriting competition is quite unique. It's actually the largest live performance songwriting competition in Australia. So there you enter the songs like you normally do, like digitally online, send your MP3 or WAV. Once they're judged, though, the semi-finalists are all invited to appear at a live performance semi-final at all the states around, most of the states around Australia. And then there's a grand final event in Sydney. So if you're in Australia, definitely worthwhile checking out, both as a great cause charity and secondly, as a great opportunity as a songwriting prize opportunity. So are entering songwriting competitions worth it? Are they just a grab for your cash or a golden career opportunity? Well, I think it lies somewhere in between, but it's really mostly importantly, and some of the greatest insights I got from the poll and also the Facebook forum online and questions was it depends on your objectives. And if it truly is about getting some objective, on a subjective note, on a subjective art, but some objective comparisons with other songwriters so that you can see the joy of being recognized at shortlisting or semi-final or final or winner, that could be helpful for you. It's also a matter of, are you doing it just to test your skills, or are you genuinely thinking you're doing it so that you can get professional advancement as a songwriter? It can cost because you add up all 8 competitions at $20 or $30 or $40 American. That's going to add up. So, and then if you've got multiple songs to enter, so you really do need to set a budget and see what's affordable for you. And the other thing is, not all of these competitions are the same. There is a bit of chatter online that depending on the songwriting competition that you are recognized in, that actually it may not be a good thing to be associated with that competition. The other thing I've noticed is some of them have got really incessant email marketing. So you constantly, hey, we're just about to open. Then here's your early bird. Then get in now before the deadline. No, we've extended the deadline. It keeps going on and on. I think the International Songwriting Competition has extended its deadlines for 4 months. I think you need to be realistic about your expectations. There are clearly a lot of people who enter these competitions. Well, I certainly know from my experience with Listenup Music in Australia, and certainly these are very large organisations. You can see with some of those global ones. So you need to be really check your expectations as to whether you will be able to achieve, the type of ranking of feedback that your own expectations might be about for your song. So for me, songwriting competitions have been a positive experience mixed with the raw emotion of missing out. But what do you think? Have you entered songwriting competitions? Any other perspectives we've missed in this discussion today? Drop them in the comments below. And remember, if you've liked this video, just hit the subscription bell. It's free, or like or subscribe. And also, if you've just released any new original music on YouTube or Spotify, drop your links in the comments below. We're building those playlists for Indie Over 50. Your song is not written yet. Rock on and keep Indie Over 50.